The moment Max Verstappen closes his visor, it's up to him to get the car around the track. But Formula 1 is called a team sport. Although Red Bull Racing employs around 800 people, there are a few who were and are extremely important to Max Verstappen's career. This is Racing News 365 with today's answer to the question, who is actually on Verstappen's team? Let's start with the most important person who contributed to the success of the Red Bull driver, Jos Verstappen. Max's father was active in Formula 1 between 1994 and 2003. He drove 107 Grand Prix, in which he achieved a third place twice as his best result. Afterwards, he picked up some other projects like Le Mans and A1 GP. But when his son's racing talent showed up, a whole new challenge presented itself, guiding his son to the absolute top. When little Max was 4.5 years old, he asked for a go-kart, and his parents gave in. From that moment on, it's all over. His life is dedicated to racing, just as the senior citizen's life is dedicated to his son. Jos Verstappen uses his technical knowledge to tinker with the karts, but also teaches his son the finer points of the engineer's trade. Max didn't only get his talent from his father, but also from his mother, Sophie Kumpen, who in her racing days beat big names like Giancarlo Fisichella on karting. Jos stayed at his son's side until he delivered him through karting titles and Formula 3 into Formula 1. There, Red Bull took care of the talent, but the former Minardi and Benetton driver was never far away. Jos is one of the few who can rein Max in, and the two of them still evaluate every step Verstappen takes today. Sophie Kumpen. She never made it further than the top of karting, but there are characteristics of hers that can be seen in her son. The youngster's calmness is often attributed to her, and combined with the racecraft he learned from Jos, Max is a complete driver. If a biography of Max Verstappen ever appears on the market, it will have to include Helmut Marko's name, the second father and discoverer of Verstappen. Dr. Helmut Marko is still regarded as the linchpin of the motorsport activities of Austrian energy drinks company Red Bull. He's also known as a confidant and right-hand man of founder, owner and CEO Dietrich Mateschitz. In 2005, he was appointed official team advisor to Red Bull's Formula 1 project. He's responsible for the support and training of many famous names in Formula 1. Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon and Max Verstappen have all been part of this training programme. Marko personally brought Verstappen into the Red Bull programme in the summer of 2014, after his gala performance in Formula 3 at the Norrisring, in which the 16-year-old Dutchman triumphed no less than 3 times. That autumn, Verstappen was already driving a Toro Rosso during the first free practice session at Suzuka, and the rest is history. Helmut Marko never minces his words. Ever. Just ask Daniel Kvyat. He's known for his toughness, but is often praised for his humour, also by Max Verstappen. The two have a very good relationship, with Max Verstappen affectionately calling Helmut Marko his second father. Marko advises and assists the youngster, and indeed, every now and then he gets a kick out of Verstappen. Also the man who pulls the strings along the pit wall at Red Bull can't be missed, Christian Edward Johnston Horner. Although his dream was to become a racing driver himself, the Briton soon realised that his racing talent was not up to the task. That's why he focuses on leading from the pit wall from then on. In 2005 he made his dream move to Formula 1 as team manager. Under his guidance, the new Red Bull Racing progressed to the top of F1. With Horner as its rock, the British-Austrian team won the World Drivers' title 4 times in a row, with Sebastian Vettel and the Constructors' title 4 times. Horner can be seen as the spiritual father of Verstappen's successes. His confidence in Verstappen is unshakable. He moulds and coaches the talent where necessary and will help him with everything. Max Verstappen has a love-hate relationship with the following person. That person is Bradley Scanes, his personal trainer. He makes sure Verstappen is physically as well as mentally fit. You have to be ultra fit to drive an F1 car. Drivers drive for an hour and a half in a cramped environment where temperatures can rise to 50 degrees Celsius. Add to that the high heart rate, the G-forces and the outlandishly high speeds, and you can see why Verstappen has to be at his very best, mentally and physically. Bradley is the man to push him. Another person Max Verstappen can't do without during the race is Giampiero Lambiase. He works at Red Bull Racing as a race engineer and had a tough job in 2015. He became the race engineer for Daniel Kvyat, who had just come over from Toro Rosso and who had to fill the gap left by Sebastian Vettel at Red Bull. This came to an abrupt end after about a season, and the Russian had to make way for Max Verstappen. And what happened then in that race in Spain, everyone remembers. From that moment, they haven't lived without each other. From day one, Giampiero has been the voice in Verstappen's ears during race weekends. A race engineer is one of the most important, if not the most important, link in the team for a driver, and Lambiase fills that role with complete conviction. Without a good car, Verstappen can't be the fastest, and that's where Adrian Newey and Paul Monaghan come in. Newey is one of the greatest designers in the history of Formula 1 and perhaps even in the history of motor racing as a whole. After designing the title-winning Formula 1 cars for Williams and McLaren, he moved to Red Bull Racing in 2007. His cars won both the Drivers' and Manufacturers' World Championships 4 years in a row, from 2010 to 2013. Paul Monaghan was on the pit wall at Renault in 2003 when Fernando Alonso scored his first win in Formula 1. The British engineer loves a challenge and joined Red Bull Racing in 2005. Since 2009, he has played a key role in the development of the cars. He's responsible for ensuring that Newey's designs are further developed in the wind tunnel. Today, Max Verstappen is not just that successful Dutch racing driver, he's also become a brand. The business mastermind behind Verstappen is Raymond Vermeulen. Together with his father Jos, Vermeulen looks after Max Verstappen's business interests. Vermeulen has been a good friend of the family for many years, first as an insurance agent in karting, and in no time the confidant. In 1996 he started as the manager of father Jos, but when Max started to develop his talent, he took Jos and Max to Austria in 2014 to sit around the table with Helmut Marko. Thus, the beginning of an extraordinary Formula 1 career became a fact, and that's partly thanks to the decisiveness of manager Raymond Vermeulen. Throughout the years, father Jos and manager Vermeulen slowly loosened the reins and he was accepted into the Red Bull team. In terms of sport, he has nothing more to teach Max. But in terms of business, Vermeulen is winning new sponsorship deals, left and right. Jumbo, Tag Heuer, G-Star, Carnext.com, everyone wants to do business with the driver. Verstappen also has his own merchandise line with tens of thousands of customers, and the Max Verstappen stands in Austria, Hungary and Belgium are unmissable. Great work by Team Verstappen. Well done, now you're up to date again. Can't get enough of everything that has to do with Formula 1? Then check out RacingNews365. There you'll find the latest news, spectacular interviews and our podcast. Until the next time.